All right, welcome back. Road Atlanta Short, a short track. Some of them are fun, some of them not my favorite. Road Atlanta is a good one. Brands Hatch Indy, not so much fun. Suzuka, don't like so much. Um, Silverstone is good. This one is another good one, and it is very similar to Road Atlanta if you know the track well. There's really only one difference. However, because there is a lot of the track missing, the setup is a bit different indeed. So ride height, 30 mils. Ride height is up a little bit. There's some curbs here, and we are going to use them. ARB is 0. Do not want understeer here. That is a bad thing. And damper compression. Here it is 16. It is softened up. We are going to beat some of those curbs like they owe us money. It's really going to get you around here quicker. Brake bias 56.5% for me. For you, it's something different. Probably a little bit on the lower side of what you have your brake bias normally set at. This is gonna be you guys are gonna love this if you love asymmetrical. Spring rates low as they go in the front and the rear. Camber on the left is 2 degrees. It is cranked up, and camber on the right is 1.3. It is turned down. As I always say, go with the higher camber value if you want to keep them symmetrical. However, the right hand side is not doing so much work, and the work that it is doing tends to be an off camber corner. So when you turn the steering wheel on a left hand corner here, it is probably off camber, and so the camber is turned down. I know from the comments a lot of you lose your mind at these asymmetrical setups, but God's honest truth. Give this a try. It is really good. It is really good. And don't try this on your first lap, your first tank of gas around the track, because yeah, you're learning the track and it's probably going to feel real funny. Once you have the track down a bit, give this a try. I you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Let me know in the description or in the comments below. Toe in 1.5. It is cranked up. We need lots of turn in here. The softened suspension is promoting a bit of understeer, so we've got those cranked up as well to get the tire temps in here. Spring rate slow as they go in the rear. Camber 1.5 on the left, 1.2 on the right. It is turned up on the left. Again, same thing. If you're turning left, those cambers or those corners are a little bit off camber, so that is why it is lower on the right. Toe in is zero point 0.2 just to get some heat in the tires. Push rod, the rear ride height is 40 mils. That is up a bit higher than the front. That is to increase the rake. That is to give the car a little bit more rotation. You do need to get the rotation through some of these tighter corners and chicanes here. However, if you know the track, there are some very high speed corners, and the back end does want to step out on you. So the ARB is down to 10. If you are daring and you are really good, you could increase that ARB up a little bit if you want. It will certainly get you rotating better, but just beware. You may be rotating a whole 180 or 360 as you go around some of these corners if you turn that up. Damper compression 2 in the rear. Again, we're going over these curves. It's like we're beating up a postman in Goodfellas here. We are going to abuse some of these curbs. Rebound stiffness 18, that is the same. Fuel level 14 liters. You're probably going to need 14 liters for this track, for this race. Usually I am not up that high, but there is a lot of shifting. You are at the rev limit a whole lot, and I know it's a little hard to see here, but gear stack is tall, 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 tall. Yes, you could try it in standard actually. Standard was the last time round here, is what I used. However, the changes to the ray, the suspension, maybe some changes to the track, and also the track temp and all that kind of stuff. Standard was coming up just not good enough. So tall gear stack it is, but you are still going to use a whole lot of fuel, so watch that fuel level. All right. Track is 22. It is pretty darn cool. Usage is 35% as usual. We're looking at a 1 minute point 9 lap here. So let's get rid of that thing. And we'll go through this in slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. So coming into turn 1, this is the usual stuff in turn 1. Looking for the end of the grass there, and then just looking past the end of the grass kind of as you approach this yellow line here, or the barrier, the start of the barrier on the left, getting on the brakes down into third, and then releasing the brakes, letting the car roll in. Probably could have been picking up the throttle here. Pick up the throttle nice and early. Get on this curb. This is cambered here. The wider you are, the more you are going to slide out. Better to get in a little too tight here than a little too wide. Yeah, a little late on the throttle pickup. And then run the car out wide. Do watch out if you get onto this curb. It is one of those triangle curbs. If you go over the back half of it here, it is going to pull you into that grass, and you are going to have a very, very bad day. And yep, that's a big passing opportunity into that corner as well. If you are on the outside, you must have faith. The guy on the inside is not going to bonk you off the track. So blind corner here in third gear. Looking for the trees here. It's not really a corner, but you want to aim for those trees. That'll pull you over to the left. So leaving it in third. You can shift up into fourth if you're in the draft. You might be shifting up into fourth. However, this really does feel better if you leave it in third. So look out for that. Now, getting onto these curbs, we got that suspension softened up. Let's use these curbs. So getting onto the curb just to open this up. Now, another blind corner. What you're looking for here is this will just take some practice, but looking for the edge of the trees in this gap. That is going to point you into the right direction if you start turning in towards those. And again, be using this curb. Very important. This will actually save you a lot of time. So as you can see, we're getting off the brakes, and then you don't really want to be stomping on the gas as you go over the curb. That is not going to end very well. And make sure the wheel is somewhat straight. Obviously it's not perfectly straight here, but you do not want to have the wheel cranked. If you have the wheel cranked, if you're like at a 45-degree angle or more, you are going to spin out through this section. So once you are over the curb, picking up the throttle nice and early, get that wheel straight, and you can get onto these curbs a little bit with this softened suspension. They are not going to disrupt you too much. However, a little bit faster to keep the tires on the pavement. Just a little bit more grip on pavement than curbs. And then just working your way up through the gears, get over to the left hand side. Again, this just takes a little bit of practice because it's some blind corners here. Basically, as you approach the curbs here on the left, you start to gently turn in. You want to straight line this as much as possible. If you get out of position here and you're putting a lot of wheel input in, trying to get the car turned, you can spin out through here, and you can also scrub a lot of speed, so watch out for that. Fourth gear, past the end of the curbs here, just turning in towards these new ones. This is the new corner, and then getting the car lined up with these curbs. And this is a very important part here. Now, as you get on the curbs, shifting down into third, getting on the curb, and then picking up the throttle again. Now, this is a very deceptively tricky corner. I am in third gear. I'm near the rev limit. You might think that's not the right way to go. However, if you are in fourth gear, you are going to be carrying too much speed. You're going to go way off to the right here, and you are going to have to crank that wheel to get around this corner. And you are going to extend the track as well. And cranking that wheel, you are going to be amazed at how much speed you can scrub. So look at my wheel. It is not perfectly straight, obviously, but it is fairly straight. And we're hugging the inside line here. And if at this point, if you're over here, I mean, you've got the wheel at a 45-degree angle or more. Your car is sliding. You are scrubbing a lot of speed and losing a lot of time. So inside here is much quicker. And yep, just work your way up through the gears, holding a tight line there, and now it is a big run to the chicane. Big passing, big battles here. Watch out. Guys behind you will catch up very quickly if you are fighting a lot for this corner. So basically, a couple things you can use here: the 100 board, the black sign, the line in the pavement here, all as a brake marker. But basically, about the 100 board, the black sign just before the white line, getting on the brakes, down into second, very hard on the brakes, get onto these curbs. This opens it up, and very important to open this up. However, in a race, obviously you are leaving the door wide open for a pass, so just watch out for that. Turning the car in gently. Again, you crank the wheel here, you can spin pretty easy, and now this is going to pick up a lot of X's and slow down, so watch out. You got to keep your right hand tire inside the white line, picking up the throttle nice and early, and this is very, very important. We're on the brakes, we're releasing the brakes, just giving it a little bit of gas, much as you can, cutting that corner, full throttle. Now cold tires, you're probably going to have to do a little bit of a lift here. Cold tires on this track are a thing. The first couple laps, you do have to watch it a bit. There's a little bit more understeer, and grip is not nearly as good as when the tires are hot. But full throttle here, and this is full throttle until turn 1, and very, very important for fast lap time to be on full throttle before the second part of that chicane. This, you will lose a lot of time if you're not. And use all the curbs there on exit. Again, no big deal. And then just head over to the right hand side of the track just to shorten the track up. Again, minimize the wheel input. You do not want to be cranking the wheel through this section. You will scrub some speed. And then just working your way over. You don't have to be to the very edge of the track, but you do want to be over to the left hand side, and then just gently turn the wheel in. Don't really get on those curbs, they're not going to hurt you, but again, 4 tires on track is faster than on the curb. And then just running it out here. And oh yeah, actually that finish line was right up here. I forget, this catches you out. So yeah, it is a very, very short run to that finish line, so watch out. There's not much opportunity to pass unless that guy messed up that corner, that last corner or something. So that is it. Good luck. I'll run this out at full speed. We'll see you next time.